The Marvel Cinematic Universe often pulls Captain America scenes straight from the comics, thrilling longtime readers with panel-perfect adaptations. Whether it's his origin during World War II or the passing of the Shield to Sam Wilson, Captain America's cinematic legacy is packed with nods to classic comics. Many of these quickly became some of the most iconic moments in the MCU timeline. Since his 1941 debut, Captain America has stood as one of Marvel's most iconic heroes. Over the decades, Steve Rogers' patriotic adventures have evolved across mediums, but the MCU has remained remarkably faithful to the source material. While Cap has appeared throughout the MCU, this list focuses solely on the Captain America movies, with Avengers scenes examined elsewhere. 10. The Super Soldier Experiment. Captain America, the first Avenger in Captain America comics. First, the most defining moment in Steve Rogers' transformation into Captain America originates in Captain America Comics first 1941. Just like in Captain America, the first Avenger, a scrawny but determined Steve volunteers for Project Rebirth. There, Dr. Erskine administers the Super Soldier Serum. The visual of Steve lying in the transformation chamber and emerging as a muscular soldier mirrors the comic's depiction. Both versions showcase the immediate tragedy of Dr. Erskine's death, sabotaging any attempt to recreate the serum. The film replicates the tone and stakes of the comic with remarkable precision. Both capture Steve's bravery and moral fortitude. It's the perfect introduction to the MCU's version of Cap, grounded in a story that originated more than 80 years ago, yet it still resonates with themes of heroism, sacrifice, and perseverance. Captain America is found in the Ice Captain America, the first Avenger in Avengers, Vol. 1/4. Steve Rogers' survival into the modern age is one of the most enduring elements of his mythos. In both the first Avenger 1/4 1964, Cap is discovered frozen in ice, decades after sacrificing himself during World War II. The film visually echoes the comic's dramatic rescue by S.H.I.E.L.D., originally the Avengers, serving as a thrilling cold open. The post-credit scene depicts Steve's horror as he awakens in the modern age, which in the comics prompts him to lash out at the Avengers. His confusion, isolation, and grief over losing everything he knew are central in both versions. The cinematic update adds a more grounded emotional weight, but the core idea is preserved faithfully. It's a foundational moment. It cements Steve's role as a bridge between two eras, lifted directly from Marvel's Silver Age. This characterization became essential to his character's evolution both on screen and on the page. 8. Arnim Zola's computerized return. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Captain America 209th. In Captain America, the Winter Soldier, many were stunned when Arnim Zola returned as a digitized consciousness stored in vintage computers. This scene was inspired by Zola's first comic book appearance in Captain America 209th, 1977. Created by Jack Kirby, Zola was introduced as a mad scientist who transferred his mind into a computerized body. This turns Zola into a living database with a face on a screen. At the time, his backstory as a Nazi scientist was largely unknown, introduced in his technologically advanced form. The MCU flipped this, first introducing his human form, played by Toby Jones, before exploring his mechanical upgrade. The MCU version, of course, modernized the aesthetic, yet it kept the eerie presence of Zola alive, delivering a surreal and unsettling encounter in the abandoned S.H.I.E.L.D. base. It brought Kirby's bizarre genius to life in a way that perfectly matched the film's spy thriller atmosphere. 7. Captain America punches Hitler. Captain America, the first Avenger in Captain America. The most iconic image from Captain America's history is him socking Adolf Hitler across the jaw. This was originally seen on the cover of Captain America Comics first in 1941. While the MCU couldn't quite put Steve in direct combat with Hitler, the first Avenger paid clever homage through the USO performance scene. In it, Steve punches an actor dressed as Hitler as part of war bond propaganda, mirroring the famous comic panel. While humorous, the scene underscores how deeply ingrained this moment is in Cap's legacy. It not only references his bold comic debut during World War II, but also captures the character's anti-fascist symbolism. Indeed, the comic counterpart was also essentially war propaganda. Its reinvention in the MCU was therefore an incredibly astute in-joke. Regardless, it still paid tribute to Cap's patriotic debut and the era he came from. 6. Bucky Barnes returns as the Winter Soldier. Captain America, the Winter Soldier in Captain America, Vol. 5/14. The emotional core of the Winter Soldier stems from Steve Rogers discovering that his best friend, Bucky Barnes, had survived his death years earlier. Worse still, he had become a brainwashed assassin working for Hydra. This twist comes straight from Captain America, Vol. 5 14th, 2005. The Winter Soldier storyline depicted Bucky resurfacing as the deadly Winter Soldier under Soviet control. The MCU adaptation is nearly identical in its revelation and dramatic weight. Both versions show Steve's heartbreak as he tries to reach Bucky through layers of conditioning. Visually and emotionally, the film captures the conflict of friendship versus duty, portraying Bucky as a tragic figure. His masked look, metal arm, and cold demeanor all reflect the comic design perfectly. The storyline helped redefine Cap's mythos in the 2000s, and its cinematic execution brought that modern gravitas to the MCU with brutal precision. 5. Civil War splits the Avengers. Captain America, Civil War borrow heavily from Marvel's Civil War 2006-07 comic event by Mark Millar and Steve McNiven. Both center on a schism within the superhero community over government regulation. In the comics, the Superhuman Registration Act demands heroes unmask and register. In the film, it's the Sokovia Accords. The comic book event was one of Marvel's largest crossovers, impacting every hero in its sprawling universe. The MCU focused on the Avengers team, who were likewise torn apart over whether superheroes should reveal their identities. The ideological clash between Iron Man and Captain America tears the Avengers apart, much like in the movie. While the specifics differ, the emotional and philosophical conflict is intact. The film streamlines the massive comic crossover into a character-driven political thriller, but the essence remains: the price of freedom and the danger of unchecked authority. The idea of friends becoming enemies over principle is what made Civil War a landmark story on both page and screen. 4. Cap vs. Iron Man. Captain America, Civil War. In Civil War, one of the most jaw-dropping showdowns in the MCU happened at the climax of Civil War. Captain America battles Iron Man in a brutal, emotionally charged fight. This moment is pulled almost panel for panel from Civil War 7th, where the two heroes clash in a similarly intense and symbolic duel. In both versions, Iron Man's advanced tech collides with Steve's raw determination and shield skills. The MCU adds a personal layer by revealing Bucky's involvement in Tony's parents' deaths, heightening the stakes. Still, the visual of Cap slamming the shield into Iron Man's arc reactor is nearly identical to the comic's iconic final blow. The movie shows remarkable fidelity, recreating panels almost identically. The most iconic example is when Cap blocks Iron Man's blasts with his shield. This was one of the clearest examples of Marvel Studios bringing comic book drama. Sam Wilson becomes the new Captain America. Captain America, Brave New World, and Captain America, 2012-25. At the end of Avengers, Endgame, a retired Steve Rogers passes his shield to Sam Wilson. This officially anointed him as the next Captain America. This passing of the torch mirrors the pivotal moment in Captain America 2012-25, where Sam also inherits the mantle after Steve loses the effects of the super soldier serum. Endgame captures the same quiet dignity when Sam accepted the shield. Subsequently, Sam Wilson has exploded into action in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Captain America, Brave New World. Both the comic and the movies show the weight of legacy and responsibility being transferred. The decision to make Sam the new Cap was both a faithful adaptation and a culturally significant moment. It set up future stories where Sam navigates what it means to be Captain America in a changing world. It also honored his comic journey from sidekick to symbol. 2. Thaddeus Ross is transformed into the Red Hulk. Captain America, Brave New World, and Hulk Vol. 2. First Captain America, Brave New World featured Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross transforming into the Red Hulk. This is a development lifted from Hulk Vol. 2 First 2008. In the comics, Ross undergoes a gamma-based transformation to become a red-skinned, rage-fueled version of the Hulk, turning from military antagonist to volatile forward in the MCU. Ross's shift into Red Hulk has long been anticipated. This is especially pertinent since his character has always represented the tension between authority and uncontrolled power. It finally came to fruition in Brave New World, where Ross's political ambitions prompt him to exploit Samuel Stearns. As a consequence, Stearns, aka the leader, spiked Ross with gamma, prompting an unexpected Hulk out. This evolution pays off years of build-up. It also directly adapts one of the most surprising character turns in Hulk lore. 1. Captain America and Falcon. Take down the Serpent Society. Captain America, Brave New World, and Captain America, Sam Wilson 6th. Another inclusion in Brave New World is a battle with the Serpent Society. In the comics, the group is a troupe of snake-themed villains. Sam Wilson's Cap and the new Falcon Joaquin Torres faced and defeated the villains in Captain America, Sam Wilson 6th 2016. In the comics, Sam Wilson's Cap faces off against the group, while grappling with public skepticism and political backlash. The MCU has teased the Serpent Society before, in a fake subtitle reveal, but Brave New World brought them into live action. Similar to the comics, Sam must contend with fluctuating public and governmental backing, yet he still emerges victorious. The storyline offers a chance to showcase Cap and the new Falcon's teamwork. It also left plenty of room for dynamic fight choreography and deeper commentary on modern heroism. This storyline was perfect to demonstrate the evolving MCU and spotlight a fully realized Captain America with Sam Wilson at the helm.